Hey, what's up? I'm Guy.
I'm John.
It's our YouTube channel. Subscribe to this channel. Give this video a like.
Podcast below in the description. Check it out. Heard we got a big guest coming up this week.
John, we were done for the day on Monday, and then Schefter tweeted this. Cowboys are giving Dak Prescott a 4-year, $160 million contract, including $126 million guaranteed. The first 3 years average $42 million per year. And you said you just read a tweet that said, what about the year one cost?
Yeah, he'll be getting $75 million in 2021. And the way NFL contracts work, you get the guaranteed money, you get a large percentage of it within the first 12 months. He's getting $75 million in the first year. All that is like, to me, the kind of the into the weeds with NFL cap management, which most people don't give a shit about. To me, the number that really stands out is you're talking about a $40 million quarterback. And like when Patrick Mahomes was paid that, I think we all just went, yeah, whatever. I mean, well worth it. And he saw it this year, well worth it. Boom, in the Super Bowl again. He was right there in the MVP mix. He's just an all-time great elite talent. Rodgers, remember he a couple years ago got like $80 million in a year, huge cash, like well worth it. Best player in the league. Even Russell Wilson, who's not as good as Rodgers, no issue with paying him whatever the top of the market is whenever he signs a contract. I can't get behind this guy. You can't pay non-elite guys elite money at quarterback because so much comes down right to skimming around them. And we saw it for years. And listen, I'm not asking Dak Prescott to take less like Tom Brady, but I can't. Of course he's going to sign this contract. I just think this is bad business by the Cowboys. I would have rather gone franchise this year, figure it out, than do this with the unknown of this could backfire. We just had two examples of two players that Dak Prescott has been consistently compared to in the same stratosphere of Wentz and Goff be complete disasters. And that was less money than this. I can't imagine once they spread the cash, the life of the contract, some of those dead cap numbers in years to come, right?
I know. And my first thought when I saw this, maybe it was my second thought, was how hard is it going to be to trade him in 3 years after just what we watched with Goff and Wentz? Well, let me ask you this.
And he's better. He's better than those guys.
Well, hold on. Let me ask you this. If I had said 3 years ago, rank them, what would you have ranked? I think you would have gone Wentz, Dak, Goff.
I at one point in time liked Goff more, but the last 2 years with Goff out, I would have gone Wentz. Yeah, Dak, Goff. I think it's hard to play that game.
But right now, you're right. Back to your original point, there's no debate here. I think everybody would rank Dak ahead of those two guys, which really isn't a compliment to Dak just because their stock is low. But I think you could look at Dak and go, look, this year he was leading the league in passing before he got hurt. Last year he was 30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Or 2019, 65%. The year before that he was 68%, 22 touchdowns, 8 picks. The question with him is just, is there another level, and is it coming right now? And I don't think there's a lot of faith at this moment in time in Mike McCarthy finding that next level in him. But if there's not a next level for a player that's not, this is not 25-year-old. This is 28-year-old. He's going to be 28 in a couple of months. Dak Prescott.
A little older than you think, God.
This is now, we are in his prime. This is his prime. So this is the year. Next year, these are the years.
Loaded wide receiver group.
Group. That's right. In theory, you shouldn't need to spend what they've spent in draft capital and in trade capital / money on Amari if you've got a $40 million quarterback, but they do. I put it this way. This is crazy, but I do think there might be another level to Dak. But for them, there better be, or else there's no way they can get around this contract.
When you say better level, he'd have to be in the conversation of top 5 or 6 quarterbacks in the league, or this contract is a disaster.
What is he right now? Let's see where
10 to 12
tiers ranked him.
I think they had him 13, 14,
which is not high enough.
No, not nearly high enough. So I just think they're paying him. Now, part of it, right, when you're getting paid, and especially when you're at that franchise level, the player has some leverage. But holy moly, guy. I can't get behind. I don't.
12 on the tiers, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, you can't pay the 12th player of this type of money.
Here's the thing. Now, again, I'm not using Sandoz. Everything you're saying, I'm
when
just
he
as
got
an
this
aside.
much money, if they just would have been like, we're not franchise tagging him, hit the open market. Someone giving him this contract?
I tend to think that there's not a ceiling to what a quarterback gets in free agency, but
Well, they never hit it. But
yeah, it's hard to know. Look, coming into the year, I don't even.
Cousins got 3 years, 86. So yeah, I mean maybe 160 is a lot more than 86.
Quarterbacks do get paid like they're free agents when they're not. It's weird. To your point,
couldn't he have just got like 3 120? You know, like 30. I guess. Well, he would have got more 30 than 90. Could he have got 3 for 100, something like that?
Here's the thing: if you tag him, I do think it's not unreasonable to think that he might be more expensive the next year, because Dak, for all the questions about whether he's a high-end quarterback and legitimate ones, his floor is actually kind of high.
Yeah, his floor's high.
So, if you just roll him back another year, pay him, what was the number going to be? $37 million if you tagged him?
I don't think it's not specific yet because they don't know the exact cap. Right. It's somewhere between 37 and 37 and a half. It was a lot of money.
So you pay him 37 and a half, and then let's say this year only played 5 games, got hurt, and he got this money. Let's say he's good again. Let's just say he's a little above his floor, just solid again. And last year he wasn't solid.
Team success is irrelevant with these guys getting contracts, right?
Right, yeah. I mean, he was on a prolific pace, and they were under 500.
But I'm saying, look at Cousins with when he was on the Redskins. That's what they were called at the time. Remember, he got huge money, and their team sucked.
You don't get cheaper if your team sucks. You do get more expensive if your team is good, though, at quarterback. And like if he had the same year he had 2 years ago, and they went to the NFC Championship game, he'd cost more than $42 million in 2022, coming off of the tag in 2021.
I'm not naive or ignorant enough to I understand why you got this. I'm not like, I can't, like, I get it.
You're saying you don't think it can work.
Under no circumstances would I want to be the team doing this.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
I just would not want to be the team doing this. I wouldn't want to be in a position where I felt obligated to do it. I just think it's bad business. Even though I understand, like, listen, I just think it's crazy. $40 million for Dak Prescott. Because part of it'd be one thing if the salary cap had gone to 215, it came back to 180. So what's 40? I mean, you're talking a large percentage of the cap, guy.
Yeah.
Even next year, which even if they can finagle this year where his cap number's lower, I don't think next year if it's 183 this year or 185, it's not going to go to 220 next year. Maybe it goes back to like 200, but still 40
you don't
of
think
200
it makes up for the law. It doesn't jump as if this year it jumped. The owners are,
no chance.
The owners just, I mean, the fact that the cap is low is kind of crazy for the owners, but it's a major win for them. What was their other option? That's when I think about this, I keep thinking, what's the
play it out?
Okay, yeah. No, I understand. So I'm saying one of their options, I imagine, if they game the scenarios, is we tag him. We're better this year. You have to think that if you're them, because you're in the second year of this coach who I thought watching the Rams game early, was that week 1 last year? I think they hired the wrong coach. But he's their coach. If you didn't fire him this year and replace him with somebody else, then you better think he's going to be better this year. I do think in that scenario, if they play that one out, they tag him $37 million, they go to the playoffs, they go 11-6, 10-7. He's more expensive than $42 million in 2 years.
To me, that feels like the cap. That's the number. Like how that, I don't know. Like, would you even have to pay that much more than that?
You're saying you think you play it out that scenario, it would be the same number this year as it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, these things just go up.
Do they?
Well, yeah, they just did.
For the elite guys, I can't fathom. I don't get it.
No. I wouldn't want to be in the position they're in. I'd rather have Matt Stafford for whatever he's making. Would you rather have Jimmy Garoppolo for his number?
Well, yeah. The problem with Jimmy is like I don't think he plays.
Would you rather have Derek Carr in his number? Yes. You would rather have
100%.
Yep.
To me, I think Derek is a good comp for Dak. You know, a guy somewhere between like 9 and 13, right? The way he's played the last couple years, but definitely this last year. And I just, what would Derek Carr get now? This changes all these guys signing extensions. Like if I'm Josh Allen, I don't know if I'm signing an extension this year. I might play it out another year and really cha-ching. Like these guys, even Lamar Jackson, like Lamar's going, well, I've had more success than this guy. What's Lamar Jackson getting, guy? How could you, if you're the Ravens, give Lamar Jackson $40 million a year? But in fairness to him, Lamar Jackson's got to be like, what am I worth? Because if we had an open, like if you just did a draft from scratch, would teams rather have Josh Allen or Dak Prescott? I think we all agree everyone would rather have Josh Allen, even though he's only done it 1 year, but teams would take the risk on that one.
Yeah, I mean,
what's he thinking he's worth?
If we had a true draft, like right now, you could take quarterbacks, and we just assumed every team wanted to build big picture, which means, that Josh Allen might be valued more than Russell Wilson. Where would the younger guys go? You'd go Mahomes 1, Josh Allen 2,
Herbert go really high. Lamar, you can just win big with him.
Deshaun.
Yeah. Deshaun would be probably behind Mahomes.
Yep.
So I would not put Dak in the Mahomes, clearly. Deshaun, no. He's not talented as Josh Allen. Lamar has just been really productive in the league and hasn't gotten hurt. Now, he's a little younger. I would much rather have Herbert. I know it's only 1 year, but
yep.
I mean, you're just talking. I don't even think he's in these guys' league. Again, he's a good player. I'm not like anti-Dak.
No, I know you're not. I know.
I think it's a little bit. It's got a little bit of a feel in the NBA. There are a handful of guys you feel good giving the true max to. When you give the wrong max to the wrong guy, you can't be mad when you can't win the NBA Finals. And it's like the Cowboys are not winning a Super Bowl. Now, you'd be like, well, they haven't since the mid-90s. I get it, but they had they're investing in stuff like they think they can.
Right. And
the Zeke contract's already a disaster. I think Amari's fine. He's properly a little overpaid, but he had his best year ever. You can live with that. To me, Amari at 20 is like a quote unquote overpay, but at least I feel pretty good about that. To me, Dak double that number is pretty crazy, guy. Wow.
Well, I'll go back to something that our old friend Greg Papa, he was the first person I heard say this. He used to hammer it. It's kind of what you just said in a different way. The player doesn't change when you give him a contract. You give him a big contract, it doesn't suddenly, when this year the season starts and the conversation is all the pressure's on Dak now. It's like, okay, well, what? Did he change? So, yeah, I agree. There is a lot of pressure on him. That's what comes with signing that big contract, which is you got to carry a team now. But here's the other thing. He was doing a lot last year, and I don't know that if he was healthy all year, they would have made the playoffs anyway. They had all kinds of other issues.
They wouldn't have sniffed the playoffs. Well, I guess that division was really crappy.
He was 2-3 as a starter, so they had a shot.
Yeah, maybe they do. Maybe go 7-9 or something and make it.
Yeah. Anyway,
but you ain't paying $40 million for a 7-9 quarterback. Now their defense sucked, but still.
But that's the point. They got all these other issues.
$160 million for Dak Prescott. Wow. Woo-hoo!